Hello, Internet and Land. It's good to be back. Dave here from Barmetrics and the Bar Shift. Today is a special day. I'm celebrating my 5th anniversary of being in the hospitality industry. I made a transition out of logistics and supply chain and made a bold jump into our industry, and I've loved every minute of it. I totally love what I do, and I enjoy working with bar and restaurant operators every day. And I was inspired to make the move by my oldest son. I'm wearing a shirt that he gave me, who made the transition from our business into the military. So he's serving us in the armed forces overseas. So a shout out to you, Alex. This one's for you. So I thought I'd do a quick video today about inventory. And look, I get fired up about this. It's the world I came from. I spent 25 years in the inventory world, and I want to share some tips with you as quickly as I can as it relates to your inventory. And the first thing is, I know that it's not a sexy subject, but let me tell you, almost everyone I meet is doing it wrong. And it may seem like a shameless plug to say get into an outsourced solution. I'll tell you up front, I think you should be in an outsourced solution. I'll also tell you Barmetrics is only in like 20 countries or cities around the world. So most of the people seeing this are not going to have access to a Barmetrics solution. They're going to have access to something else. So there's not a lot of benefit in this except for you if you fall into one of the categories that I'm about to go through. Let's dig in. First off, if you're using paper, if there's some sort of paper other than invoices involved in your inventory solution, you're lagging about 30, 40 years behind. Get into technology. So when I go into a place and I'll do a sales meeting and someone will tell me, yeah, we do it ourselves and we're really happy with it and it works, I'm thrilled to hear that it works. I want your inventory solution to work. I'm not rooting against anybody. But let's dig into that. What does it looks like? So if we have, as an example, the fox guarding the hen house, if I've got a bar manager who's responsible for the bar, writing down the bar inventory and eyeballing it on a piece of paper in a way that can't be verified, and no one's double checking, that number is going to be whatever it needs to be. Most people aren't in the business of getting them fired. We can all agree on that. The second thing is, if it's not the bar manager, but it's someone else who doesn't have enough sleep or doesn't want to be there and is just trying to knock out inventory in 3 to 5 hours just to get something on paper, you're not getting good data. We can agree on that. We can also agree on if you are doing draft beer and you're just sloshing around kegs trying to figure out a way. Look, I still do inventory every day. I like being involved in my business. I hump thousands of kegs every year, and I'm telling you, as someone who is a professional keg humper, I can't get within 10% on the eyeball test on kegs, so neither can you. All right, so that's the third thing. The fourth thing is, these are all lookouts. If you're not reconciling those counts against your actual POS sales to come up with what you should have, so audits consist of 4 data points: what you had, what you bought, what you sold. So when we say are looking at the Patron, if all we do is look at Patron shot sales, that tells us one story, but what about the doubles? What about the rocks pours? What about the margarita sales? You got to get into all your modifiers, all of your cocktails to know exactly how much, say, Patron that you should have in the venue. Truth be told, what most people have is an ordering program that, as long as the ordering program, if they can make the math work, they're cool. And then that passes as, we do it ourselves and we're good. I like our number. The number you like is the number on paper. The number you don't like as much is the one in the bank account. So if your inventory program can be off as much as 10%, and I'll tell you what else. I digress. Even if you're using an outsourced solution, if you're still self-reporting an outsourced solution, so you've got an app on a phone, but the bar manager or the bartender or someone like that is going around and doing that, you still have a problem because that data can be manipulated. We still need to do the weighing of the kegs and still need to do the sales extraction and all that. So be careful on that. So where was I? Where did I leave off? That's why you don't get distracted. 10%. You can be off as much as 10% on the eyeball test, on the sloshing the keg test. That can be the difference between being 22% in your cost of goods and 20%. I guarantee you care about that number. So here's a few lookouts too, a few things to look for. If the person who does your accounts and is reconciling your data isn't running around trying to find missing product, I do this every single day. And I'm like, hey man, where's the bottle of Kraken that was on the invoice that you bought last week? There's no Kraken here. There's no sales here. But you bought a bottle of Kraken. Where the hell is it? You reconcile, you're missing 4 bottles of Fireball. You're missing 3 bottles of Grand Marnier. We're missing 4.5 bottles of Tito's. If you sell Tito's and you're doing stuff on paper, you have a Tito's problem. Telling you. I've worked with people that have the sexiest, most sophisticated Excel spreadsheets you have ever seen, and they do not work because you have to have a system that extracts all that POS data and makes sense of it, and you can't do that on an Excel spreadsheet, at least not in this lifetime. But you can make that Excel spreadsheet look like you've got really good data because you have a database and spreadsheets and you have numbers on paper. If you can't tell me right now what's your weekly bar sales, you should know that off the top of your head. What are the 10 high loss products in your venues and what are you doing about it? And what's the value of that? And what's your ideal cost of goods versus your actual? You're leaving a lot of money on the table, folks. You just are. And in an industry where a lot of people are struggling to make 5% and could be making 10 if they only knew. So look, this comes from a place of caring, guys. I do get a little about this deal because it's frustrating to me. We're no different than bankers. Our inventory is cash on the shelves. You never go into your bank and have people just guessing at what the drawer should be at the end of the night. That's not how it works. They reconcile every penny down to the penny. They count half pennies if they could. I know I'm being provocative. I'm doing it because I'd like to stir some emotion in you to look really hard at your inventory program because you can make serious profit improvements there for very little investment. And at the same time, you're getting some work off people that they don't want to do. There's lots and lots of hidden upside to this around labor, information, knowledge, peace of mind that I haven't even gotten into. So that's it for today, folks. There's a lot there for you to digest. Feel free to reach out to me if you have questions. I'm happy to answer it. And Alex, this one's for you, brother. We'll see you soon, buddy.